Welcome back to the SMT YouTube channel. Folks, we're here on Srini Gopalan's X platform. We're looking at his most recent post from about an hour ago, the time of this recording. It's December 10th. They had a conference yesterday, and they focused on three key things that the company is going to be kind of honed in on, emphasis and basically everything that they're going to be doing. It all kind of circles back into these elements. Let's take a look and identify what these three things are, and then we'll kind of do some analysis and commentary to go with it and kind of see what we can expect over the course of the next year plus from T-Mobile. All right, so the first thing, of course, first things first, primary, the most important thing is the network. Quote, extending our lead while closing the perception gap that still keeps tens of millions of customers elsewhere. If you haven't tried our network in the last year, you haven't tried it. Okay, so how do we break this down? Well, the thing is T-Mobile truly believes that they have the best network in the country. They have the largest 5G network. They got the most spectrum on air, tons of capacity. The network has gotten much more reliable. It's scaling quite nicely, and they want people to know about it. So you see they mention the perception gap, and they say tens of millions of customers are elsewhere. What they're talking about is there's people that are on the AT&T and Verizon networks that probably shouldn't be. They should be at AT&T, or excuse me, at T-Mobile, not with AT&T or Verizon. And what he's talking about is they need to switch, right? Now, this is going to come full circle. All right, so network first, network focused, get customers by having the best network. Next, we have AI and digital, saving customers from having to use 2002 era processes in 2025, like making switching take minutes, not an entire weekend. Now, how does this relate, right? Well, they just told you that there's tens of millions of customers who are on some other network that need to switch to them. Well, what's better than getting those customers to switch? Because not only do they have the better network, but it's painless, easy, and quick and convenient to switch to T-Mobile, right? So you need to switch, and then we're going to make it really easy for you. And then the last thing here is broadband. Using 5G and fiber to challenge incumbents charging too much for an inferior product. So here's what they're saying there. 5G, they've got 5G home internet, right? Fixed wireless access. The incumbents are charging too much. That's where T-Mobile comes in, right? T-Mobile will come in and charge someone, between, depending on promotion, $40 to $50 or something for 5G home. They may be paying upwards of $80 or more for home broadband through an old cable provider or maybe an expensive fiber option, right? So there's that part. Now, the other part to this is the fact that they're building fiber. Now, typically where they go with their fiber, they're one of a couple players, right? But they'll probably, take share because of pricing and bundling service, giving a small discount with wireless, right? So see how they're kind of tag teaming that. It's just trying to win based on pricing, whether it's 5G or with its fiber. He closed out the post by saying, all of it focused on unleashing Uncarrier to smash the biggest pain points in the industry, and we've aligned the organization behind the strategy with new roles for John Fryer and Mike Katz. I think John Fryer is now the Chief Operating Officer. Mike Katz moves to the Consumer Group CEO. All right, now with this last part about the Uncarrier, guys, it doesn't matter what we say. T-Mobile is going to ride that thing until the wheels fall off. They continue to push Uncarrier nomenclature. They keep saying it. They keep calling it out by name. Whether we think they're Uncarrier or not doesn't matter. They're going to keep saying it. And what they're saying here is, look, we've got the best network. We're going to help you switch easily. We're going to beat out all these old internet companies that have been giving you garbage service and charging you an arm and a leg for it. They're going to break down all those barriers. That's why they're still Uncarrier. That's what they're saying. So I guess the discussion point here is, maybe you agree or disagree. You guys can start with that. T-Mobile Uncarrier. Are they still Uncarrier by doing these things? Switching customers from AT&T and Verizon. Is that Uncarrier? Switching them quickly. Is that Uncarrier? AI and digital. Is that Uncarrier? And then the last thing is 5G and fiber. Is that Uncarrier? It depends on the execution. There are probably some people who would say yes. I would switch to T-Mobile in a heartbeat. I'm stuck on an old cable coaxial provider, regional provider that's charging me $100 a month for cable, and it sucks, right? So they would be freed from those shackles. and switching, getting away from AT&T and Verizon. That could be Uncarrier, right, for some people, to get away from those things. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. We'll continue to monitor what Srini is talking about here, how they approach this in 26 and then moving forward through 27. We'll be here making videos, so keep it locked, keep it tuned for the SMT producing more videos in the industry. But like, share, and subscribe. Check out some more videos. We'll see you guys soon on the next one.